three.
Yeah.
Where did I put it?
Okay, my stream is
Hello.
live. Hello.
My stream is also live. What a coincidence.
Wait, okay, there it goes.
It's
I need to
6:40 for you, right?
Sure. But yeah, I actually had to select VLR to have,
Oh, hold on. My hat's getting cut off. One moment.
Oh no.
I think I put my head too close to the the ceiling, the VTube studio ceiling. Here we go. Let me just move myself up. There we go.
Hello, Ennui.
Hi, Henri in my chat says VN stands for Viperfish and Nice Eggy. Indeed. When I read anything, it's VN. It stands for Visual Nice Eggy. When I read a bad VN, it stands for Visual No.
Okay, so we left off in an escape room, which means we're just going right into it now.
Oh boy.
I guess we just click on things.
Okay. Do you remember which one this one was? Like, which room? Like, of what variety of room is this?
What do you mean?
Like, aside from just a room that you escape, like, what is the room? Like, what? I don't remember.
Security, it says.
Security. Interesting.
Okay. So there's a Twitch puzzle.
Whee!
We do not have the necessary information to solve that yet, so I'm not going to try.
I wonder if it's possible to, like, brute force zero escape.
Oh, without a doubt.
You just,
but
you just put in every possible combination until you get in.
You'll be there for years.
I'm sure someone's made, like, a bot for it or something.
But it's still, like, just the dialogue will be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to find a password.
Password? It's a chair.
No!
No! No!
What?
They look like Among Us.
Wait, what?
They look like Among Us. The chairs. No!
What? Eggy.
No.
Egg. Why would you say that?
I'm sorry. I should have just kept it to myself. I said things that didn't need to be said, and I apologize. Among Us doing tasks in security. No. No.
Okay, so...
We are 9 minutes and 18 seconds into the stream, and we're already at Among Us. And, like, 5 of those minutes weren't even spent actually streaming. That was just, like, the standby screen.
Yeah, like... 12 minutes into my stream, and most of that was just going live. Okay.
Trying to see the imposter on the security screen. Damn it!
This is...
No!
This is it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the sun.
Memento Mori.
Sun.
It's Memento Mori if the ninth lion ate the sun, right?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
he seems to be eating the sun here, so
Uh-huh.
I think it applies.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I like the selection of colors.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a watermelon.
Yeah, I guess it does.
I don't know, maybe it's also just too, like, it reminds me of being a kid, because I don't know, I feel like I grew up in, like, that one time where pink and green was just, like, the absolute best color combination. Like, I'm pretty sure I had, like, a bag or something. I had a whole bunch of stuff that was, like, pink and green, because everyone's like, watermelon colors. And this continued for a few years.
That must have been a local phenomenon.
I mean, maybe it was just limited to my family.
That's also possible. Because, like, we grew up around the same time, so it's like... you would think I would know something about this. So what do we have to do with this? Oh, it has 11. Okay. And that has 4.
To be honest, the way these are modeled is very interesting. They're, like, noticeably lower poly than everything else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everything else is already low poly, yeah?
No, but you know what? They look like the, they kind of look like the bombs.
Huh.
Like, they're, like, kind of the...
Okay, you know what? 0 out of 10.
Why?
Because
the sand doesn't move.
Yeah, I turned it upside down.
It's okay, some water got in. It just got stuck to the top. It's gonna fall down all in one chunk, and it's gonna be like, thwunk.
Okay, so what does turning up the lights do? Okay, so it's too dark to do anything. Let's turn the lights back on.
Oh, hold on. Did you look on the stair? There was something on the stairs.
Oh, was there? Oh!
There are words.
No, not that. Okay. I'm gonna write this down. So. ESDMAS. I wonder if placement means anything.
I believe you need to pay attention to the color on the stair.
Okay.
On which things are written.
Letters and also colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
my thing is like really just like. I was thinking because like the paper I'm writing on has columns, but I'm writing it left justified, and I was like, is that going to fuck something up? And it doesn't. If it doesn't seem like it will, then that's fine.
Has it? Has it messed something up yet?
I wouldn't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, well. There's a lot to write here, okay.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of random letters, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna eat a cracker with some, roasted pepper hummus, I think.
Eating before stream would have been a good idea. But as we were discussing beforehand, I didn't exactly have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat after stream.
It's okay, neither did I.
Okay, so...
Eating on stream is just like a fact of life for me now. Like, this is just a thing that happens.
I do that sometimes during the Danganronpa streams, but that's because those are always like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it like always runs through a meal. No, I think my problem is that like I work, I get home, and then like I immediately like turn around, turn on my computer, and sit down. So I'm like, I don't have time to eat a full meal usually.
Okay, so without
at least not
the lights being
this
off,
time.
The letters aren't there.
Indeed.
Does it have something to do with the switches? Probably.
This must be some pretty powerful glow-in-the-dark stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, unless the turning off the lights secretly turns on some kind of like UV light, like.
That's what I'm expecting, honestly, because like we're gonna do something and that's gonna change.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, yeah, this is some pretty powerful like glow-in-the-dark paint. Like, usually it doesn't glow that hard.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine that? Just like a Zero Escape game, like someone tries to put up their death puzzle game and then like it fails because like the glow-in-the-dark paint doesn't work, and like the wires, they forgot to plug something in, so like some puzzle just doesn't turn on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so... I have no idea what we're doing. I'm just gonna turn everything on.
Everything. Push all the buttons.
Yup. Ah, that makes sense. Now they're all turned on. Okay. Huh. Da. And
Aren't the, like, the green and pink things? I'm pretty sure they're a puzzle.
yeah, they pretty obviously are, but I don't know what that puzzle would be.
Okay.
I don't think we have information for that yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're still at the click around and find stuff stage.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean,
like...
I'm pretty sure I remember there being a puzzle with those, though.
Uh-huh. Problem is, it's like, what do we click on?
Click everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the door we came in through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, like... So the things that we, like, can tell are a puzzle are, like, the switches and, the hexagons and the stairs.
Yeah.
But I failed to see how it comes together. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
That's
there's something
new.
with the passwords and the colors on the stairs.
What's that?
I think it's the passwords are like the one. You know how the stairs each had colors?
Uh-huh.
I think the passwords are like the colors on the stairs.
Oh, wait!
I think.
When you said, like, the letters and, like, colors matter, I was like, okay, so them being blue matters. I am smart fish. So, okay, like, it's really, like, a minor thing, but it gets tedious how the camera always starts here. So if you want to go back, you need to turn around.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, I'm just imagining Sigma standing in a room, like, not turning his head, he's just rotating his entire body. He stands exclusively in the center of the room while solving puzzles.
Okay, so now I'm writing this down. That's the problem with every multi-screen puzzle room. Yeah. It definitely gets, bad. Okay, so, like, the top one is a purple, right?
I think it's like a dark blue.
It is purple to me, but also, look, the second to last one is also purple.
Oh, thank you, Thwaz here. Welcome to puzzle solving.
I'm gonna just write purple but different.
Purple but different. Oh, how about indigo?
That would work for the top one.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the one at the bottom?
Yeah, the one at the bottom is the one that's purple but different.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I would just call it purple. Because it's not like it's gonna get mixed up with something else, right?
The top one, right there.
Yeah, but the top one is indigo.
And that's why it's purple/indigo in my notes now.
Oh, thank you, Thwaz here. Thank you.
Okay, so green.
Green.
A, D, G, B. Cool.
That was easier than expected, you know?
Yeah, I was
I
worried.
kind of expected it to put up more of a fight.
I was worried that it was gonna be like, because it didn't fill out the entire password field, it was gonna be like, no, fuck you.
Well, I mean, I think they just make the password field the same length for all of them, just not to mess with you, but just like, so it doesn't become immediately obvious when something is something, you know?
Standardization is important.
Yes, of course.
Like, I won't fault Zero for being standardized.
I mean, that's better than like those websites where you like put in your password and it doesn't let you hit enter until you put in the correct amount of characters, even if it's the wrong password. Or am I alone in that experience?
You might be alone in that experience.
That happens to me a lot with like Wi-Fi, I think.
Huh.
For some reason, like the Wi-Fi router, when I log in, like it doesn't let me actually like hit the enter button until I have the correct amount of characters. But yeah, again, that might be...
Oh. Huh. Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, I got it,
yeah,
but...
okay. Yeah. Did they give you instructions, or did they just, like, throw you into that one?
Just, like, click! And then, apparently I only had a limited number, but also I didn't?
I think there's a few of those. Basically, I think what you gotta do is make...
I was
ominous.
you. Okay, so... Yellow.
But yeah, I think what you have to do is get the patterns to look like the ones on the walls, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the middles and the outsides of the stars are different than each of the little points.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I am being interrupted. Please be entertaining.
Okay.
While please tell everyone the story.
So, fuck. What do we talked
I'll be back momentarily.
We talked about this beforehand, that, like, I might have to just vamp for a bit, and if I was smart, I would have been like, okay, I know what I'm gonna say during this part, and, like, here, I have, like, an idea of what I'll do. And I didn't. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wait on this puzzle till it gets back. I don't know. Trying to think of what to talk about. Seasonal anime. Let's talk about that. Sure. Kaigeki Shoujo is a cool show. I've seen a lot of people talking about it on my TL, and so I decided to check it out. I don't generally watch a lot of seasonal anime because I find it hard to keep up with. But Kaigeki Shoujo gave me Revy Starlight vibes, and anything that gives you Revy Starlight vibes is like probably gonna be good. And admittedly, they aren't really that similar in that, like, Kaigeki Shoujo is it is not a supernatural show. It's it's words. It's just about Takarazuka, but Takarazuka is just kind of gay and will always be kind of gay. So anything that is about Takarazuka will just catch my interest. So it's been a neat show so far. Only 2 episodes in, but I like where it's going. I am seeing Egg is lighting up a little, and I don't know if that means she's back or not. But, yeah, Kageki Shoujo. I really like the art style. The art style is, like, very faded, or not very faded, but very, like, washed out. Well, very, much lighter colors than anime usually uses. And, that's been something fascinating about it. Also, the main ship, the main two characters being, very tall girl and very quiet girl is, like, always, like, a washed out anime look. Yeah, if you like that aesthetic, like, check out, Kageki Shoujo. It is cool. It is, definitely interesting show. The first episode had some, like, really odd stuff about, like, very, like, post-#MeToo stuff. That's, like, the main character is talking about sexual harassment to a male teacher. And it's, like, the guy is kind of like, oh, I don't really get this, like, sexual harassment stuff. Like, kids these days. And it's kind of like, so they're gonna be doing a very heavy-handed, like, story about that. But then it, like, the teacher goes on to just, like, actually take that to heart, and, like, when a student criticizes his behavior, for something, like, honestly, like, not that bad, he puts his hand on, one of the main girl's shoulders, and she doesn't like that. And then the next time he, like, he's gonna put his hand on someone's shoulder, he just asks first. And it's like, okay, neat. Like, that's a very small moment, but I like it. But also, like, what, is this going to be a one-off moment, or is that going to be something the show focuses on? If that is something the show focuses on, even, like, not as the main plot, but, like, as just something that, like, exists, I would be kind of interested in it, because we haven't actually gotten many anime that, like, have that kind of thing. That, like, because it very much is a, like, I don't know, sometimes people, like, do just need that push to be like, oh, maybe I should ask first. And, like, I am very much like, don't fucking touch me unless I want you to touch me. And I won't want you to touch me. So... Oh, is Egg back?
I have returned.
Cool.
Did you solve any puzzles while I was gone?
No. But I did ramble about, Kageki Shoujo the entire time.
Oh yeah, I watched the first episode of that. That was good.
I was talking about how, like, in the first episode, the, like, JSD, instructor guy, like, the like, sexual harassment stuff with him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, how that's, like, a really odd sort of thing that's, like, he does something that a person doesn't like. And then that person tells him he doesn't like it, and then he's like, okay. And then, like, next time he does it, he's more respectful of it. And it's like, that's neat. Like, cool for showing that. Anyway.
Yeah, no. I started watching the show, and I'm like, this is very much something tailored to my interests. This is like Review Starlight with an even nicer art style.
Uh-huh.
Like, just give me all the Takarazuka-inspired anime, please.
Yeah, that, like, so, like, the, like, modern, like, quotes, SJW stuff is an interesting facet of the story. But there's also just, like, a lot more going on there, too.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing, too, is I feel like we need to have, like, someone needs to make, like, a designated, like, Takarazuka explainer video. Because I feel like if we're getting more of these, because people were confused when Review Starlight came out. And a lot of people, like, had to have stuff explained to them of, like, why things were like this, or why certain
like
people were, like...
If it does keep happening, it's gonna be, like, how a lot of anime fans just know Mahjong or Shoji from it showing up in anime a million times.
But yeah, like, Takarazuka, it's like one of those things where it's like theater in North America, but also very different in how like the system works and how roles are delegated and stuff. So
there's a specific culture to it, and it's the culture that defines it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I feel like we're gonna need an explainer video if we keep getting anime like this.
I'd watch it. People. Like I remember back when Revue Starlight was airing. I remember all of the different like threads and tweets about like, here's information about Takarazuka. So it's like, I largely know this stuff. I've also read a few other manga about Takarazuka and Takarazuka adjacent stuff. So
yeah,
it's like,
well, I think too, like, because I remember people seeing like the summary for Kageki Shoujo, and they're like, why is her height a big deal here? Like, why do they bother mentioning that? And it's like, no, there's a point. There's a point. Like, height is like a thing in Takarazuka. Like, it's an important factor.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a point.
Like, in Revue Starlight, it's, like, a major plot point that, Dabanana, she's the tallest girl. And so, like, if you don't... God, do we want to get into Revue Starlight spoilers?
I've already watched the show.
No, but I mean for chat.
I don't know. What do you think, guys? I'm staring into the camera like I'm, like, on Dora or something.
Because it's like,
what do you think, guys?
I was about to go off on a tangent, or like further on this tangent that's like into actual spoiler territory, but I don't know if I want to do that or if we should just go back to the game.
Yeah. But I think the other thing is like the idea of like top star, because that was like another thing that was present a lot in Revue Starlight. That was like, and that concept doesn't really exist in most North American kinds of theater.
Yeah.
Like the idea of like, you know, one person, they get really good and they get all the rules, like all of them.
Even with dedicated troops, I feel like that's not really a thing. People play the roles that suit them.
But yeah, I think the other thing too is, I don't know, I feel like once you know things about Takarazuka, then you start to see it everywhere in anime.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't there like an Ouran High School Host Club episode with a bunch, like the Lobelia girls?
I haven't seen Ouran. But
yeah.
like Utna?
Yeah. Or anything that ever references Rose of Versailles.
Yeah. Or, I mean, anything by Ikuhara, probably.
Well, I think there's apparently a pretty direct reference in the Steven Universe movie as well. Like,
I still need to see that.
You see it everywhere once you know what to look for.
Because it's like, even if you're not being directly influenced by Takarazuka, the influence of the influence and the influence of the influence of the influence is just everywhere.
Just the vibes. The vibe is the influence.
Yeah, it's like, if I make art, it's going to be influenced by Utna. It's going to be influenced by Revue Starlight. And those are shows which would not exist without Takarazuka.
Okay. What is this puzzle? I don't remember this one.
So, we have the two, hourglasses. Red is 4, yellow is 11. We need a password.
Huh?
Good question. I have no idea. Anyway, Ennui in chat, what's a Revue Starlight? Revue.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we might be fools and we might be galaxy braining this. Ennui said this puzzle is literally just count the lines on the hourglasses.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But anyway, Revue Starlight. It's a show. It's revue as in like French revues. And it's about gay girls. It's about Takarazuka and stage performance and the horrific place that it is for the actual performers, and like it's also about the audience and what they mean to Takarazuka and what it means to excel, and like I don't know, it's about a lot and I love it. It's a very postmodern sort of thing. It's gonna come up in the V3 Chapter 6 or Trial 6 stream a lot. Because Grandview Starlight is a great example of something that V3 fucks up.
Okay,
Very
so
Penguin Drummy. Yeah, funny you mentioned Penguin Drum, because the director of Grandview Starlight worked on Penguin Drum.
yeah, and it shows.
Oh yeah,
so much.
Like, this thing is like 2 steps away from being an Ikuhara anime.
I remember I actually started watching Review Starlight because I saw a clip of like Hikari's transformation sequence, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Is that an Utena reference? Is that the, because it's like he had the machinery going and like the car kind of thing. I'm like, this looks like the like Utena transforming into a car sequence. Like, it's very reminiscent of that.
Yeah,
Nobody-
it is incredibly Utena.
I'm assuming that everybody here has watched Utena, and nobody here is confused by the transforming into a car sequence. I just realized how weird that sounds to anybody who hasn't seen it.
If I ever write a novel, it'll probably be borderline Penguin Drum plagiarism. Yeah, and if I ever like direct a movie, it's gonna be Utena plagiarism.
I mean, actually, on the topic of Penguin Drum, they're doing a recap movie, but it's also slightly different. So I'm assuming we're going to get some kind of like Adolescence of Utena situation where it's like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, technically it's the same story, but not actually. And we got a logo for it, so I saw that on Twitter the other day. I'm like, yeah, let's go!
I mean, I imagine it's good, like, Rebuild of Evangelion kind of solidified this archetype of, like, remaking the original but doing different things.
Yeah, it's like, this is a recap, but of what, we're not sure.
And I think Ikuhara, like, with Adolescence, just did such a good job with it that I didn't care for Penguin Drum. Something about the story and the characters just never really clicked with me. But I am down to watch the recap movie, because it has been a fair few years.
Yeah, I think the thing with Penguin Drum is it feels like Penguin Drum, I don't know, it feels like you need like a degree in Japanese political science to understand Penguin Drum in a way you don't really need for Utena. Like, there are things I had to Google to be like, so that's what they're talking about here. Or this is what they're referencing. Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot about the background of Penguin Drum. Like, for example, before I watched it, I already knew about Aum Shinryaku. Because that's the kind of person I am.
Well, I feel like most anime fans know about it as the thing that screwed up Evangelion's production schedule.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, because you know how the last few episodes, like the production schedule just fell apart? And it was originally because there was supposed to be, somewhere in the late stages of it, there was supposed to be, at least from what I've heard, there was supposed to be like a scene that had something like an explosion on a subway or something vaguely reminiscent of the incident, and then it happened, and they're like, oh no, and then they had to come like scrap that part and like restructure some things, and then the production schedule just like fell out the window in the process. So yeah, I feel like that's the thing that people might know it for if you don't know the context of everything else. It's a bit like how after 9/11, like a whole bunch of productions had to go and like edit the Twin Towers out of shots of New York.
But yeah, no, I just know it because like cults and new religions are something I find interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I was like vaguely aware of it, and then I had to Google more about it as I watched the show.
So this is hell for me because I have dyslexia and, like, related issues.
Do you want me to count the bars?
Please.
Okay, so red one has 4.
Yeah, we know that...
Blue one, let me count. 1,
We know that
2,
red is 4, yellow is 11.
Blue is 7.
Okay. But, yeah,
Green is 9.
Revue Starlight is just such a good show.
Yellow is 11?
Yeah. Yellow is 11. We have that from the thing we picked up.
I think pink is 15, I think.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool,
Okay,
thanks.
for a second I was worried. I'm like, did I forget how to count? Or like, did I see wrong?
But yeah, God, Ikuhara is just such a fascinating director. Even when he makes stuff I don't like Sada-sanmai, like, he still makes something that is, like, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Me, be, I, was, will, everything, you, knows. She? I'm assuming that's the word she, and it just has, like, the bar right through it.
Huh. Wait, okay, I'm gonna go check something.
Oh?
I was you.
Oh. Okay, interesting.
We're gonna do this one first, though.
Okay. Anhui says, apparently a lot of the ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 had to be changed because the game was coming out right after 9/11. Interesting. Because, like, Metal Gear is a Japanese game, right? Like, it's...
But it was released in America.
Yeah.
And also, like, I would imagine that Japan would want to be like, let's not have this game be about this super horrible incident. Wait, Red? Okay, yeah, wait, no, that's bad. Ikuhara is the anime director with the most symbolic and thematic density, which makes me very happy. Yeah, no, you don't really get people making anime like Ikuhara. Like, you get similarly, symbolic and abstract works at Shaft, but often they aren't as thematically dense. And I think, like, the fact that Ikuhara can combine those aspects does a lot for him.
I think the thing... I feel like... I don't know how to phrase this, but I feel like Shaft shows are somehow still somewhat concerned with logic, whereas Ikuhara is okay with throwing logic out the window if it makes the show more interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the best way to phrase it.
I think the difference is that, like, Ikuhara... I'm actually trying to struggle how to put this into things. Shaft mostly does comedies. They can be comedies with, like, serious stuff in them. Like, Monogatari gets plenty serious and stuff.
But at the end of the day, it's still a comedy. Like, it's not...
Yeah, there's a lot of comedic moments. And Ikuhara has that too, but I think that's the difference between them is how they approach that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more like comedies with tragic moments versus tragedies with comedic moments.
It's like, Ikuhara's comedy is more as, like, it's the levity in an otherwise serious story, whereas a lot of Shaft shows are, like, just straight up, like, weird stuff. And it's like...
It's also that I feel some Shaft shows are all, like, adaptations of stuff, too, whereas Ikuhara's stuff is... I don't think he's ever done an adaptation aside from Sailor Moon. Like, most of his stuff is original.
Yeah. Shaft works use their abstractions to tie into characters' personalities and motivations and the like, whereas Ikuhara is more interested in the non-literal. Yeah, I suppose that's a big thing, it's that, like, every character in an Ikuhara work is a character. And there is no illusion about them being anything else. Like, they are just characters. And they're characters who, like, serve what the story is doing, like, what its thematic, storyline is, or whatever. Whereas, like, Shaft works are just, like, they're more interested in the actual characters, I think. I kind of, like, disassociated halfway through that and, like, had to recover.
No, I'm like, yeah, I see where you're going with it, yeah.
But yeah.
Again, I haven't watched as much Shaft other than, like, Madoka and Monogatari. Like...
I've watched a lot of Shaft stuff.
Oh, and wait, hold on. Arakawa Under the Bridge is Shaft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I
don't know. The fact that these are the only 3 Shaft shows I've seen is interesting, though, because Arakawa is just like, hey, what if we took the style, but then absolutely nothing terrible happened? Like, it's incredibly light compared to, like, Monogatari and
Have you seen Hidamari
Madoka.
Sketch?
No, but I am aware of it.
Yeah, that's just Shaft doing a K-On-esque slice of life show.
Interesting. I don't know, I think the other thing, too, is that Madoka was my first anime that I watched start to finish, so my point of reference is Madoka. Which is like, I just kind of associate the style with like very heavy stories. So when it's like, oh yeah, here's a story about a bunch of people who live under a bridge. I don't know, it's just like, it's a weird effect because I'm like, I've associated that with like terrible things happening.
Mm-hmm. Whereas, for me, it's like, Shaft have like a very wide variety to them.
Mm-hmm.
That like, no show looks like Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. No show like resembles Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. God, if we want to talk about shows that are incomprehensible to Westerners, fucking Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is the worst.
One of those like novels of translator's notes kind of shows.
Oh, well, one, the show's format is very list-based, because the manga is very list-based. So you have these long lists of, like, I have an issue with society, and the issue is this week's topic, and the issues are this bullet point list that we're just gonna shove on screen.
This is like a YouTube video, like one of those, like...
It's like, you have 5 seconds to read all of this before it goes off screen.
I mean, to be fair, I think people think a lot of that about Monogatari because they put like the like light novel passages on the screen. But I think the thing is that people need to keep in mind, because I know a lot of people who try to like pause and read everything, and like that's one way to watch it. But also, like, Japanese speakers aren't picking up on all that either.
Yeah, and it's a lot. But then it's like, so you have that. But the other thing is that like it's also very based in like late 2000s Japanese politics and culture.
Oof.
A lot of jokes about the prime minister.
You're like Googling like, who is the Japanese prime minister in 2000?
Oh no. They name Shinzo Abe plenty of times.
Oh, okay.
But it's funny because Shinzo Abe would very quickly stop being the prime minister. And then later would become the prime minister again. It's amazing how varied Shaft's anime are since they're all directed by Akiyuki Shimbo. See,
All of them?
What?
All of them. All of them?
Okay, so are you not aware of that?
No, I'm aware of
Okay.
the, like, putting his name on everything regardless of his level of involvement.
Because the thing is that, like, he clearly has an impact on these shows. You can tell when you look at, like, a director's work before and after they leave Shaft. There will be big differences. Like, you know, a director might still, like, have a lot of the same stuff that they had while at Shaft, but it's like, it will often be toned down. And, you know, some of this can be the different cultures at other studios. But then it's like, there was an anime last year that was at the studio Shaft that didn't have Shinbo credited as director, and it's just a normal fucking anime.
Was that the, like, Lily...
Assault Lily.
Something... Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and it was just, you know, a normal anime.
Because, yeah, I remember hearing about that one and then not hearing about it at all ever again.
It wasn't great.
And I also remember that people are looking at the main 2 characters and they're like, haha, is this Homura and Madoka? I see one person with pink hair and one person with black hair. There are no other possible parallels.
But yeah, but like that show was like very restrained compared to anything else that Shaft has done. And so it's like, it's clear that like Shinbo does something at the studio. His name isn't just on there for like shits and giggles, but like also like we do know that he doesn't lead direct a lot of stuff. I think it is fair to say that he's like an executive director. He's sort of like just influences everything.
He comes in and he's like, yeah, this looks good, keep going. Or like, bad, try changing this. And that's about it.
Yeah, but God, I tried watching fucking Maria Holic. Do you know anything about that show?
I know the premise and nothing else. I have not seen it. I know that apparently it had like a cool opening or ending at some point.
God, yes! It has the best opening in anime. Outright. Because, Tatsuya Oishi, director of Monogatari, Bake Monogatari and Kizu Monogatari, directed it.
I think there was also...
He just went the fuck off.
I believe there was also a sequence or something where they got the animators who were responsible for like the witches' mazes in Madoka. I can't remember the name of the team. It's like
Gekudan Idun Kari.
Yeah.
They do the ED. And both are very good. But God, the OP is just like, it is one of my favorite Oishi works, and that's even when considered like next to like the Kizu films and Bake. It is just incredible. Hello?
Hi, yes, I'm still here.
Okay, yeah. You didn't say anything for a second, so I was like, did Discord drop the call or something?
I had hair in my mouth, and I like was trying to get it out, and yeah. I feel like my hair hasn't been cut since September of last year, and my hairstylist doesn't have any openings until August. And I think I have the opposite, whatever the opposite of split ends is, that seems to be what I'm dealing with. Because it's like my ends almost feel like scratchy, but also like thicker. It's like instead of getting weaker at the end, they just like got stronger, and now they just feel kind of gross. And also some of them have like literal knots in them. Like I'll have a hair, like one individual hair that has a knot in it, and I'm like, how did that even get there?
But anyway, so the thing about Maria Holic is that like the OP is just like incredible. But the rest of the show is garbage.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I was gonna ask you, I'm like, the premise was something. It was something.
Like, it is the singular most transphobic anime I have ever watched.
Did you finish it?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I don't know, it's very much one of those shows. I remember seeing like the like Mal summary, and I'm like, are you sure about this one? Are you sure? You sure that's the premise you're going with?
Yeah, it is very bad.
Here.
And it's just like, it's such a shame because it's like basically everything but the actual plot is great. Because, you know, you have the banger OP, you have the banger ED, you have like a star-studded cast with like Yu Kobayashi, Marina Inoue, Miyuki Sawashiro, and it's like all of this good for
that.
This.
So what you're saying is that I should go look up the openings and endings and watch those and not think about it ever again?
Yes. But also just like watch the ED like a million times. Because God, it's so good. It's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good.
So this puzzle is...
What?
What is this puzzle? It seems like we're just like...
I don't know.
Yeah. Did you get any instructions, or did it just throw you in here again?
It just kind of threw me in.
Oof. If.
Like, we need to make these work.
She knows everything. I was you, will be me. It's that, like, will be me. Like, me will be? Wait, hold on.
Yeah?
Hold on. we only got 2 words that have a period at the end. So
yeah.
I'm assuming this is supposed to be 2 sentences and not 3.
Mm-hmm. Because it's, she knows everything, I was you, will be me.
I was you, will be me. No, because that... If we're assuming that sentences only end where there's a period... Okay.
Yeah, but then it's like...
This puzzle required that you turn off the screens with the unnecessary words. Oh, no.
What?
Okay. Anmi says, if I remember correctly, this puzzle required that you turn off the screens with the unnecessary words, but I'm not sure. But then what would be the point of moving them around?
How do we turn them off?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I remember this puzzle being a massive pain, though, so this does not bode well.
Anyway, I'm realizing now that I could just do an entire stream of gushing about Shaft shows. Because even when they are, like, vitriolically transphobic, and the other thing about Mariaholic, it's super homophobic. I haven't generally seen the word lesbian used as a slur before, but boy, that show uses it as a fucking slur.
It's like, this is an insult now.
Yeah. The switchboard with the green and red flips. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretending that I knew the answer the whole time.
But it's just like, Mariaholic is a very mixed show. But then there's also like, we were talking about Madoka. You were talking about Madoka. And it's just like, God, Madoka is such an incredible show. I am really looking forward to the movie.
I still need to watch the Magia record. Yeah, I still need to watch it.
It's really, it's not as good as the original.
Because I remember I used to play the game before the English server went offline.
There we go.
Yeah, I used to play the game, and I was one of those things where I'm like, I'm invested, because you know most games, it's like, oh no, I'm going to skip the cutscene so I can get to the gameplay. And now I'm like, with that game, I was like, I am angry that my very engaging cutscenes are being interrupted by gameplay.
Yeah, yeah, and the anime is very good for that. I'm a big fan.
Because yeah, I think that's what happened. I just played the game, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just watch the show where I don't have to be interrupted by some turn-based battle every 10 minutes, whether or not it fits within the story or not. Because sometimes like a chapter would end and it's like, oh yeah, a monster popped up, we got better fight the thing. And then other times it's like 2 characters have a like emotional conversation and then there's just a battle afterward for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
they just don't even fit it into the narrative.
They can be bad like that sometimes. Okay, so we have one of these now. How do we get the other? From chat, I feel like using lesbian as a slur is a very 90s thing, like when sitcoms would make fun of the man-hating lesbian feminist character.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, like,
I can see that.
Is this one of those things, because it's based, Mariaholic's like, is it based on a manga?
Yes.
How old is the manga? Like, how
2000s.
long before 2000s? Like,
the manga
early
was still
or late?
contemporary when the anime was made.
Okay. Because yeah, I was gonna say it. Like I'm like this kind of sounds like the kind of thing that might have been like a very old manga getting adapted more recently, but yeah.
I mean, the show was made in 2009.
Okay, so yeah, it would have been like probably like what 2006 or something.
Yes, I think it might be like 2004 even.
Okay, so like it's not that recent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it is dated, but like I don't know. I'm not surprised by it as much as I am just disappointed that it exists.
I don't know. I feel like dated isn't an inherently bad thing, but sometimes it's just like, yeah, because there's like dated, I don't know, there's like dated positive and dated derogatory. Like, sometimes it's like, this show, like, I don't know, I think Ouran High School Host Club is like a good example of something that's very much dated, but like, it's kind of a like product of its time kind of thing, rather than necessarily a thing that holds it back. But then other times you get shows that are like dated derogatory, where it's like, yeah, this probably wouldn't be made today, and also probably shouldn't be made today.
Yeah, where it's like, Maria Holic has like just the entire joke is that the main character is gay, and she's forced to live with a man who dresses up as a woman. And it's just kind of like, I just want this girl to be happy. I just want her to be happy and not have to deal with all of the shit she's given.
It's just like good ending where she just leaves. She just walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nostalgic and then there's shameful. Yeah, pretty much. I guess that sums it up. Like, and I feel like there's some things that are a mix of both. Like, there are things that, like, you know, things you go back and watch. You're like, I used to love this thing, and then you watch it, you're like, I don't remember that being there, but...
Yeah. Yeah, no, this definitely feels like something that, like, if I had been an anime fan in, like, 2009, and I had watched it then, I could imagine, you know, enjoying it. And now it's just like, I am the butt of the joke in both ways.
I think the other thing too is I feel like even if they tried to make something like this today, I don't know if the market would be there for it, you know?
Yeah. Like virulent hate gives you a very niche audience.
And probably not one that would stick around either.
No, the audience you would get are the type of person who posts about it for like a week on Twitter straight and is like, oh, the SJWs are gonna hate this.
Or people who don't watch the show but proceed to use it as their argument anyway.
Yeah, basically
like,
you're getting the Nagatora fans.
No, worse, you're getting the Uzaki-chan fans.
Ah, God.
I don't know how many of the Uzaki-chan fans actually watched the show. I would like to see statistics on that, because people were arguing about that on Twitter. Honestly, no matter what side of the argument you were on, I'm skeptical of how many people on either side actually watched the show. Which, I mean, sounds hypocritical coming from me, because I didn't watch it either, but, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like everybody everywhere was just making arguments based on what they assumed the show would be. Like,
the thing I remember, if we're speaking about statistics, the thing I remember about Nagatoro is just that one fucking thread. Do you remember that thread about the subs?
Probably, yeah. I remember there was a whole thing about sus.
Yeah, just the fucking sus thing. And there was a fan who went and made... I have no idea how long the thread was, but boy was it long, and boy did they quote, crime statistics.
Sorry, what? I don't think I saw that one. I think I saw a lot of people responding to it because seem to be on translator Twitter a lot, so there was a lot of people explaining why this is like an okay translation choice, actually. But no, I don't think I saw that original one.
No,
but,
I never saw the thread itself, but I did see like people screen capping it and talking about it. And it's just like
okay, so it seems Anwi's coming out of the trenches of people who actually watch Uzaki-chan and says it's not worth watching. I don't know, I feel like the difference is that people actually enjoyed Nagatoro. Whereas I feel like Uzaki-chan was like just kind of meh, and I don't think anybody was really like... Again, I feel like people were just arguing with it based on what they thought it was going to be or what they thought it was versus like anybody who actually watched it.
Yeah, like Nagatoro is like something I had heard about before. Like I knew the manga. I haven't read it because it's not a series that interests me, but it's like, yeah, it was a thing that existed before.
Yeah, I think Uzaki-chan just kind of exists exclusively in this space as a thing to argue about.
God. It's incredible there is this whole culture of people who basically just watch anime to support their anti-SJW arguments. You know, now that I say this out loud... now that I'm
watching mediocre anime to the lips.
Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm surprised that they haven't gone back and watched Maria Holic. Especially because I don't think the show is officially, like, licensed. So you have to watch fan subs. And fan subs are always better, right? So that's a win for them. Why aren't they doing this?
I mean, by that logic, Precure must be the best anime of all time, considering that it didn't have official subs until, like, what, last year?
I mean, where's the lie?
That's true, that's true. Oh, whoa, what's this?
Oh, whoa?
Oh, whoa?
Why'd you say oh, whoa?
I don't know, I just saw the words "what's this" on screen, and my brain just made that association.
Uh-huh. Yeah, God, anime is neat. Oh yeah, speaking of shaft shows, Bishonen Tanteidan.
I need to finish it. I
have a few episodes left.
Yeah. I have, like, I think I've got, like, episode 4, and then I ran out of time. I need to finish Odd Taxi, because the other day I opened up my YouTube subscription page, and I ran up against literally 2 videos in a row about anime YouTubers talking about how you should watch Odd Taxi. Like, 2 videos in a row. I think it was Mother's Basement and Gigok. They both posted a video on the same day about how you should watch Odd Taxi, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I'll finish it. I'm almost done.
I might get to that at some point, but that kind of missed me, because, I don't really watch a lot of seasonals. And so... I never really caught on to the hype, and then it just started being something that I just didn't stop hearing about.
As you should. Yeah, I need to finish it. Apparently, it does stick the landing.
I did just hear people being, like, happy with it the entire way through.
Because, I finished Vivi as well. That's another one that technically sticks the landing, which is good, because it very much looked like a show that was about to not stick the landing. Like, just watching the first episode, I'm like, this is a very cool premise that could be screwed up very, very
I know
easily.
nothing about Vivi other than people on my timeline were very much into the hot robot lady. Many people were simping her.
Yeah. Odd Taxi is a new Rakugo Shinju. No, okay, here's the thing. I think the difference between Odd Taxi and Rakugo is that Rakugo feels like you need to know what Rakugo is before going in, whereas Odd Taxi, there's no reason why Western fans wouldn't join in.
We were talking earlier about how, like, Takarazuka is, like, you might need those explainer videos. I think that, like, Rakugo is the sort of thing, like, where I was talking about, where it's like, if you're an anime fan, you know what it is. If you are, past a certain depth.
But, like, if you're not familiar with Japanese culture, there is very much kind of a barrier to entry.
Or
at least, like, a barrier to proper understanding. I'm still thinking about that Ace Attorney case that was about Rakugo. That was really interestingly translated.
What?
Yeah, that was in the 6th game.
No, I'm not talking about that. What the hell is going on?
Harry, you aware what's going on?
the way the fucking the dialogue here is She sounds like an Animal Crossing villager.
Oh my god, she does.
Hey, what about Tatami Wait, okay, what did we say to reference Tatami Galaxy?
Talking fast, I guess.
Was there a thing in Tatami Galaxy about this? Like, I know Tatami Galaxy has a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, it has a lot of speed talking.
But I don't also really associate it with, like, that.
I think that might have also been with the conversation of anime that are difficult to recommend to people because there's, like, a barrier to entry. But I don't think Tatami Galaxy is really one of those.
I think it has a barrier of fast talking. Okay. I think it has a barrier to entry, but the barrier to entry isn't, like, cultural. It's just...
How fast can you read?
Are you ready to put up with some bullshit?
Well, I don't know. I think also... Yeah, I guess a little. I don't know. I watched it once, but it was a while ago. I should probably rewatch it. I just remember, like, the ending was interesting because it was like, whoa.
Episode 10 is, like, one of my favorite things ever. And so, like, that really left a good impression on me. But, like, I was, like, kind of mid on the rest of the show.
I think the first few episodes are good. I think where it slows down is where you have that arc that are like several different timelines of the same thing happening where he just makes a different choice. That one I found slowed it down a little instead of just introducing a new thing every time.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I never thought the show was bad. I just, like, it didn't connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Night is Short, Walk On Girl?
No, but I'm told it was good.
It is incredibly good. Like, it's basically everything that I wanted out of Tatami Galaxy. And it's also everything I've ever wanted out of anime. Anime needs more musical episodes.
Musical episodes?
Yeah.
You see, I think Serazanmai had the right idea.
I mean, I think Ruby Starlight had the right idea.
It did.
Where it's like, the music is just incorporated into the story. Like, because, like, you have stuff like Aikatsu and Love Live where it's like, we're going to sing a song now!
Mm-hmm.
And the story is gonna stop until we're done with the song.
Yeah, either that or it's like, the story happened and now we're gonna sing a song at the end.
Yeah, where it's
Which
like...
I guess, to be fair, that's how a lot of, like, musicals do technically work, but...
I know, I guess it's
there's
like,
also songs in between.
I guess it's just like, I think that the songs should be a part of the story. Like, you can't just skip the songs in Ruby Starlight. You will be missing so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why, like, I get why there's a big difficulty around, including the songs, but, like, God, I wish it was more.
Yeah, I think also, too, like... I'm trying to think of other shows that did that. The Somnium Files ends with a musical number.
Oh, hell yeah!
I hope... Okay, they announced, like, a sequel thing for the Somnium Files, and that one better also end with a musical number. It better.
Godspeed.
Like, I don't know who's gonna sing the song that time, unless they bring the old cast back. But, you know, maybe they'll come up with, like, a new idol girl. And they'll have a new song.
Oh yeah, no, but the thing is, I really like in Night is Short, Walk On Girl, the characters aren't singers. They just have... there is just singing. It is just a musical at times. Like... and it works diegetically, too! It's a masterwork. Definitely my favorite Yuasa anime. God.
I think more things in general should be musicals.
Yeah.
Like, just in general.
Yeah. God, if we want to talk about, like, avant-garde anime, like, Yuasa definitely is, like, up there. Fucking shout out to episode 10 of Tatami Galaxy. I don't know, have you seen many Yuasa things?
I saw Tatami Galaxy. I saw the episode of Space Dandy he directed.
Did you ever see Devilman Crybaby?
No, but again, it's a lot of one of those things where it's like, I am aware of this. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm aware of it.
You should see it. I don't know, like, how much you would like it, but, like, it's very good. Yuasa used to be, but he sort of toned it all down as of late. I don't know. Night is Short, Walk On Girl was, like, 2017, 2018, and that's batshit crazy. I think it's, like, Aizoken was, like, a bit more low-key, but that was still, like, very a lot good.
I think the other thing, too, is a lot of his stuff is adaptations, right? So you gotta keep in, like, you know, keep with the vibe of what you're adapting.
There was that fucking movie he did a year or two ago with the dead surfer guy. Yeah, Ride Your Wave. I think Ride Your Wave is a bit of an outlier as far as his recent filmography is concerned, because you have, like, Night is Short, Walk On Girl, and you have Aizoken, and you have Devilman Crybaby, and you have that Earthquake show from last year that I never watched, but a lot of people praised. And so it's like, you have all of these that are, like, people definitely are praising these. And people, like, they're definitely, like, on par with Yuasa's other stuff. It's just that Ride Your Wave was unusually bad for him. And, you know, everyone misses sometimes.
I didn't look, like, I only saw trailers and stuff for it, but I got the impression he was kind of going for a different audience there. Because maybe unless the film's marketing was like really misleading, like
I think that's fair. I think
I got the impression it was more going for like a family demographic than like whereas his
he goes
usual
for a
works
few
are
different demographics throughout his career, but definitely most of his stuff is aimed towards like anime fans, and that one is just like a rom-com-ish thing. But Japan Sinks 2020 was not even slightly experimental and was also very bad. I never saw it. But, like, I thought Aizoken was experimental. What's that?
I don't know, from what I heard about the Earthquake show, it seems very divisive. Like,
yeah.
Some people think it's good and some people think it's bad, but also everyone can't seem to agree on what is actually good and what is actually bad about it. At least from what I've seen.
I never saw it, I probably won't. But, like, Aizoken was so good.
It feels like Aizoken was like a bajillion years ago. I remember listening to Easy Breezy at the end of 2020, and I'm like, this anime was made in the same year as current moment.
It's from the before times. It's from like before the pandemic, which makes it feel like a million years ago.
I remember also watching like YouTubers' end of the year list, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, winter of 2020. Here are the shows, and I'm like, oh boy, that was ages ago. Those were this year, like.
Yeah, but God, Aizoken was such a good... Like, we're probably not going to get a Season 2, and, like, I think we're fine without a Season 2, because not everything needs a Season 2, but God, I want more of that. What a good show. Like, one of these days I'll go back and, like, watch Kaiba and that 2000s movie he did that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I need to actually watch anime. What keeps happening to me is every evening I sit down and I'm like, tonight I'm going to watch anime. And then I think about that until approximately like 11:45 p.m., at which point I'm like, oh no, I now basically only have time to watch like one episode of something. So I have to find something that probably isn't going to leave me on a cliffhanger. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
My God. Breaking Wave was terrible. It was just abysmal. Like, it feels like it's a bad movie for a variety of reasons, but it's a bad reason because it also sabotages itself. It's just... Mind Game and Kaiba are both more experimental and weird than anything he's made since. Yeah, but, like, from what I've heard of those are, like, supremely just, like... I don't think that those are, like, a metric to hold an artist to.
I'm also going to throw my uneducated hat into the ring here and say that more experimental does not always equal more good.
Yeah, like Devilman Crybaby, Aizoken, I'm keep going back to these because these are just the shows from Yuasa that, like, I love. It's also, like, it's common for artists to become more conventional in time. And just because you're becoming more conventional doesn't mean you're becoming boring.
Yeah. I think also, too, like... Oh my god, I just knocked something off the table. It's fine. Yeah, like I said, like, they're two different sliders. Like, sometimes there are lots of things that are definitely experimental, but I wouldn't exactly call them good. And there's also things that are good, but also not experimental at all. Like... At least to me, they're two different sliders.
Yeah, and it's like... One of my favorite Shinbo works, Aki Gishibo works, is Le Portrait de Petite Cosette, which is fucking incomprehensible. It makes no sense. It is just weird, like, abstract visuals with Yuki Kajiura music playing, and there is an ostensible story to it, but fuck if I could follow along with that. And meanwhile, it's like, everything he's done since has made sense. So, like, objectively speaking, he has, like, gotten less experimental in that regard. I don't think Yuasa's gotten worse. Aizoken is the best thing he's directed. Yeah, but I still think Aizoken is a very experimental work. I think that, like, he has continued to experiment in various ways. It's like the way that Aizoken portrays animation, because it's like, how do you show animation in animated work is definitely a tricky subject, and I get why he's the person who had to adapt that series. Also, wow, why have I never put dialogue on auto before?
Eggy, hi turtle. Woke up from nap. Good.
Why have I never put dialogue on
No
auto
sniffing
before?
during the stream.
This is so much better.
I think it's because before we tried putting it on auto, and then what happened is that when you put things on auto, every time we would get to like a choice, then it would just stop the auto.
Rip.
That's why we stopped. That's why we didn't do it. But yeah, anime. I don't know. I feel like I'm also the kind of person that is okay with a show being just vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember once I had a friend
okay,
who tried to watch
something
Utena.
Yeah.
Hold on. No.
Oh.
I tried to get her to watch Utena, and I remember her saying, she's like, I couldn't follow what was going on, and I couldn't, like, nobody explains anything. And I'm like, no, you just gotta feel it. Like, I don't want to tell people that they're watching anime wrong, but, like...
So, yeah, sometimes it is just pure vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I caught, like, Le Portrait de Petit Cosette. Fucking incomprehensible.
But yeah, I also feel
But
like
it's so good.
you can go into shows and, like, analyze the symbolism and stuff, but also, like, you don't have to. Like,
Yeah. Sometimes you can just vibe.
How has the Zero Escape been? Well, we escaped one room. Exactly. Or maybe we're still in the room. I think we're still in the room.
Yeah, we're still... We finished the room and we're still in there.
We're getting some plat. Just large room. No, it's not a large room. It's like a room with lots of details.
Yeah, but, I know.
And then we've spent exactly 0% of this time talking about the game, and we spent it all talking about anime.
Anime is cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good anime out there.
Everyone should watch anime. At least once.
Because July 18th is coming up, I've been thinking a lot about Kyoani Works.
Oh yeah, I think...
You know, that's...
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 years ago now. And that's just a very somber thing to think back on. And it, like, it does, like, make me really depressed sometimes to think about, but it's also, like, God, Kyoani are very good at what they do. I stopped paying attention after one point.
Oh no. Yeah.
Like, I was kind of, like, following along, sort of, but also, like, not nearly close enough to...
Gaming. We're gonna fail gaming because we talk too much about anime.
But, I don't know. Kyoani Works are very good.
Yeah, I don't know. Kyoani's one of those things where it's like, not all of their things are my thing, but I can understand why people enjoy them so much.
Even when they have a story that I don't like, the visuals of it are unparalleled. Both because, like, it's going to be, like, gorgeous to look at, but also very visually engaging. It's not just gonna be, like, a lot of sakuga. It's gonna be a lot of creative shots, a lot of creative symbolism, and stuff like that.
I don't know. I think my problem is just that, like, I keep associating a lot of Kyoani shows with people who have like very basic anime taste.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
fair,
why.
like-
I think it's just because it's like the same circle of people who are into Kyoani and people who are into like Makoto Shinkai or like other shows that have a lot of pretty shots of the sky. You know that genre? I don't know if there's a name for it, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, Kyoani do kind of fall into that sometimes, but you also have stuff like, Chunibyo, or K-On, or,
Dragon Maid, I guess. Dragon Maid's another one that's like
Dragon Maid.
very much not in that genre.
Like, Hibike Euphonium.
No, Hibike Euphonium I think kind of falls into that genre.
Does it? I know. Hibike Euphonium is a sports anime.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, they are still like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it to nationals.
Yeah, Yeah, it uses the sports the sports story structure to tell a music story, and that's why I love it so much.
I think what we need is we need an idol anime that has a sports anime structure, or a sports anime that has an idol anime structure.
I would definitely be interested in seeing a sports anime that has the idol anime structure.
Yeah.
But
it
also,
probably would depend on what sport.
Also, there is the thing about sports anime is that they do to a degree have to focus on the sport in question and improving on that sport, and that's kind of why I like UFO so much. As a musician, seeing these people dedicate themselves to this craft and talk about the craft is wow, I really like this. So seeing an idol anime that doesn't just focus on idols as a cultural phenomenon or as something pretty to look at, but actually focuses on the struggle of becoming an idol, I would be really into that.
I think the other thing for me is I want to see, surely a choir anime must exist, an anime about people in a choir. That must exist, right?
I give it a few years.
Because I was gonna say Hibike Euphonium is a thing, but I don't know if there's a choir edition of Hibike Euphonium that's the same concept, but they're singing.
I don't.
Because on one hand, I do want to see a show about people learning to sing. On the other hand, I don't know how interesting that would actually be to watch. Does anybody want to watch 20 minutes of vocal warm-ups? I don't.
See, the thing is, does anyone want to see 20 minutes of band kids practicing?
That's valid.
Yeah, apparently, yes, they do.
Yes, I don't know.
So I think that,
I think the other thing, too, because one of the things I like with Hibike Euphonium is, you can hear the progression. You can hear them start worse and slowly get better at instruments, and I feel that would be harder to do with singing, because you literally... Either you hire voice actors who are bad at singing, and then, train them, but also, make sure to record your episodes as they're progressing, or you get voice actors who are good at singing and then purposely have them be bad at singing.
I think you would have to have them purposely be bad at singing. But yeah, that would be kind of hard. But I don't know. I think I think the thing about is that I would like this about idols in particular because there is a lot to the struggle of being an idol that you could portray that isn't even just about the music. There's a lot of potential there for a story about struggle and hardship and overcoming that. I think the thing about a choir thing is that a choir is a group, so that would be more in the UFO thing, where it's whereas an idol could be more Yuri on Ice.
Yeah, you can have
one
individuals.
Or two of them. And both have their appeals. I generally prefer it when it's more personal. That's what I do UFO, but it's when it comes to actual sports, it's I would rather watch Yuri on Ice than I would to watch Haikyuu.
No, I don't really have a preference. I think it just depends how it's done.
I suppose it's just competition sports as opposed to graded sports. I think is the difference for me.
Yeah.
Which actually that would explain why I why UFO is something I like, because that's still a graded sport.
Now that I think of it, I was thinking about Skate the Infinity, which is technically a sports anime. I mean, technically it is, but it's one of those things where there is a competition element because they do race against each other. There is one guy goes speedier and he wins, but also there is kind of a performance element to it. That probably isn't as much. Well, I guess it is still kind of present, but yeah, and the show kind of seems to focus on both. Characters will be oh yes, he's picking up speed, but also he just did a backflip. I don't know. It's probably
kind of reminds me of
representative
Yu-Gi-Oh!
of
Arc 5. Because that kind of reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5.
What,
the performance aspect. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 was weird in that it introduced this aspect where it's they play in AR and they have this battlefield that they can run around on. And so instead of two people just standing there playing a card game, they have to run around the playing field and they can pick up extra cards to use and they can ride their monsters to pick up those cards. and like there might be like floating platforms and stuff. It gets weird, but like it is all to the service of it is a performance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like card game anime have like that same issue that a lot of like rom-com light novel adaptations have, where it's like, okay, how do we work around the fact that this entire show is just people talking to each other? Whereas card games is like, yeah, how do we work around the fact that this is just pieces of cardboard being placed down on a mat?
There are definitely some ways that people execute on that. Because there are some weird card game anime out there. There's some weird Yu-Gi-Oh out there.
I mean, isn't there like a bajillion Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, at least one of them's gonna be weird.
There's 7 of them now, I believe. Like, because it's first like, okay, so these cards are Egyptian monsters that are put into cardboard and sold in booster packs. And the main character is plural with this, like, Egyptian ghost, and they have to save the world and stuff. And then the second one is like, okay, so there's this other world, and there's this, like, entire other world where Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters are real, and, like, the main characters, like, have to save that world, and also there's, like, evil cults, and, like... Wow, when I say it out loud, this is all really weird. And so it's like they have to save the world again, but it's also, like, save the universe. And then for, And then there's the fucking card games on motorcycles one. Speaking as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, card games on motorcycles, bad meme. That one involves the fucking Nazca lines.
Okay, I think we need to start paying attention to gaming.
Yeah. We're only, you know, an hour and a half in. Maybe now we start paying attention to game. Noting down, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is another thing I could probably talk about for 2 hours. Boy, Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets fucking weird.
I think I'm gonna get up and get water because I am thirsty.
Fair enough. I keep a water bottle on my desk.
Yeah, usually I refill it before I start, but I forgot. I was too busy making tea.
Fair enough. Well, I'm just gonna stay here and story stuff. I've, like, actually been doing a bad job of keeping up with the story today, because we've been talking about anime the entire time. Like, I've been, like, vaguely following along, but a lot of the specifics has been getting lost on me. There is still the problem that, like, this game hasn't won me over like the first game did. I'm still waiting for there to be a moment where it, like, is able to do that. You know. Hopefully. Egg back? I'm hearing egg sounds. So... We're in the medical office again. Oh! Okay. Huh. I'm gonna wait till it gets back. Huh. Huh.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
From water.
People are dead.
Oh no.
And there's some things I find interesting about this. Danganronpa brain immediately activating. So the way that they're handcuffed is very specific.
Yes.
They're both bloody, but
yes.
Tenmyojin's side is bloody, so I think he was stabbed, whereas Clover's wrist is bloody. And also her finger is bloody. She's not bloody anywhere else. She wasn't stabbed. How did she die?
Interesting observation.
Tiffany and Jean is also, they're both slumped over in different ways. Also, I think this is the first time we've gotten to see Clover's legs. At least, like, in such detail as this, which is a shame.
Cute shoes.
Yeah, no, it's like... It's a cool look. Like, I think that, like, that does compliments to her overall look. But, is she wearing thigh highs, or is she wearing tights? I can't tell.
I think they're thigh highs.
Okay.
Because you can see, like, a little patch of skin at the top there.
Yeah. I prefer tights, TBH.
I don't know. I prefer, like... I don't know, aesthetically both are fine, but, like, to wear, I actually prefer thigh highs because I hate, like... Especially when my skin is dry, I hate the feeling of, like, tights on my thighs. Like, it just makes it really
okay, but,
itchy.
like, I tried thigh highs, and how do you get them to stay up?
You don't. You just give up and accept defeat.
Ah!
Alternatively, you wear pantyhose underneath, and then you put the thigh highs on top, but that's only if you really want to put a lot of effort into it.
Nah.
Usually people do that for cosplays.
Like I like the aesthetic of thigh highs, but it's like, that just seems like so much work to just, like, continuously having to be keeping them in place, as opposed to just having tights to wear.
I don't know, I feel like there's also, too, like, there's definitely outfits I've worn before that I'm like, I tried to wear them with tights instead of thigh highs, and I'm like, this doesn't look right anymore, like, that piece of leg was necessary. It's the missing piece.
Yeah, so it's a shame that Clover is dead again. Has she died in this game yet?
Not on screen, I don't think.
Okay.
I think she might have died, like, off screen in one of the other endings, but it was like...
Right at the end or something.
Still getting water. No, I have water in my hand. Listen to it. There it is.
Other nice thing about, like, having it on auto, I can just shuffle the cards that I have.
Woo.
It's, like, very good for ADHD.
I don't know. I'm terrible at shuffling cards. I just drop the whole thing.
I mean, I have a lot of practice from playing Magic, and also shuffling being, like, a fidgeting habit of mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty good at, like, pencil spinny things. But no, shuffling cards is like, I just drop all of them when they fall on the floor, or like, I don't shuffle them right and it's really awkward, and like, you know the thing where you like divide the deck and try to squish it back together, and then like the cards don't fit quite right. Yeah, and they don't fit quite right, and then you just end up either like bending the card or something.
Riffle shuffle is kind of awful, and I regret that, like, as a kid it was something I would do, because it's terrible for the cards, which is like more a problem. More a problem for when you're playing a game like Magic, where it's like the cards actually have value. Whereas, like, I'm shuffling a deck of 52 playing cards. I bought it for $3.
Yeah, it's like, this is a move that assumes your cards are inherently replaceable.
Yeah. Which is like, so it's fine for, like, this kind of thing. But less so for, like, when you're, playing with, like, meaningful cards. And there's other ways to shuffle with, like, trading cards. Especially because, like, trading cards often have sleeves. And you can't riffle shuffle with sleeves unless you're skilled at it. And why would you be skilled at riffle shuffling? Especially riffle shuffling with sleeves. There's some circles on Clover's wrist. That's interesting. Oh wait, no, that's where the thing would have been. Never mind.
Yeah, the bracelet, yeah. Looks like two eyes. And there's like a crease in the arm, it looks like a mouth. It's just his face going,
Anyway, let it be known, I do drop cards.
You do drop cards.
I drop them often, in fact. Which gets awkward, because then I have to reach out under my desk, and VTube Studio dies.
Yeah, Your soul leaves your body.
But yeah, but no, like, riffle shuffling is just like, I guess that's like, at this point, a skill that I have learned. Like, I'm like, decent at it now. So where are we? We are still in this one particular part. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It means we're probably getting to a really cool and important ending eventually.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, right. Because auto stops when basically anything happens.
Yeah. Sigma.
Sigma. Shiguma.
The other day when I was at work, there was like a customer who came in and she was wearing a t-shirt of like, I think it was like a sorority or something she was in, and the shirt said like something Phi Sigma, and like I had to do a double take. Like, I'm like, wait, no, hold on, that's just the name of something.
Mm-hmm. I find it interesting that like they, in Japanese, they very clearly call them bangles.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just like the Japanese word for bracelet, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Wasai Aigyo gets very funny like that.
Mm-hmm. Because like I know the Japanese. No, hold on. For Style Savvy, if you play it in English, they translate bracelets as bangles. So sometimes, yeah, a customer would come in and like, hey, I want like a white bangle, and you're like, a what? But Style Savvy also runs into the interesting issue of the fact that it was released in English worldwide, as in like, you know, both for Europe and North America, but also the fact that it was localized in the UK. So it turns out that British people do have different words for things, and your customers will be coming in asking for trousers.
Yeah, it's a British dialect.
I remember there was some people when the game came out, like the most recent one, which was like a few years ago, but I remember seeing like threads of people being like, yeah, I had to look up what like dungarees or wellies were, because they're just like not words people here were familiar with.
Uh-huh. Wait, okay, so what's that? Okay, so when are we gonna do the next, Ambidex
When we finish
room?
this one.
No, the next Ambidex room. I assume that's gonna be there.
I don't know, when the plot stops happening for a moment.
Yeah. Anyway, I just remembered a twist that I know from, the last game that's really funny. I'm not gonna say it because it's a spoiler for you.
The last game of what?
The Zero Escape?
Oh, for the third game. Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
meant the last game as in the previous game, and I'm like, I was here the entire time.
No. For the last game in the trilogy.
Ah, okay.
That's like, it's a really funny thing. And I can't wait until we get there. But,
犯人を突き止めるためのクオークのバングルが見つかったことによって状況は変わった。もしも犯人がそれを見ていたとするなら明確な殺意があったことになる。
So, why did the text suddenly get so much slower?
Yeah. I thought it was maybe like a frame rate issue, but I thought that was like an issue on my end.
And Phi's stuff still goes decently fast.
Mm-hmm.
何も見つからないんだよ。何も見つからないことが逆に妙だと言ってるんだ。覚えてるだろう。天名じゃ娯楽室で私たちの手首にルミノール試薬を吹きかけた。
Yeah, it is like,
その時に使ったスプレー
I guess it's like, it has to
確かに
keep up with the Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Japanese seems to be taking a lot longer than the English.
Yeah.
The English.
Because, in the collab, Danganronpa collab, Mathwiz plays with Otto on. And there's definitely some moments where it's like you see my speech, like where like I don't have audio, so it's like just kind of like why are we holding on this line?
They're not dead, they're just sleeping. I don't know, no one needs to...
Gingerly examine her corpse.
Gingerly? Is that the word you're looking for?
Okay, Kyoko Kitty Gitty. Oh, that would explain why her finger was dipped, was like in blood. She dipped it in there to write on her thigh. Leon.
No, don't you know it's
910.
7171 what was it?
016? I looked at it as 910.
No, clearly it's OIB.
or a backwards P for PLO?
Or no, maybe it's like an incomplete G, so it's like Geo.
Yeah, okay, I
like
can see it.
Yo, but like she kept turning her thigh upside down again. In her dying moment, she forgot how to write. Actually, wait, hold on a second. That would be Dio if you mirror it. Yeah, that would be.
Oh!
Yeah.
And we already know that Dio is a fucking bastard. So did Dio kill them?
I mean, it's not unlikely.
How are you with Japanese numbers? How are you with Japanese numbers?
How am I with Japanese numbers? In what regard?
Do you ever remember them?
Yes, because they're better and easier than French numbers. Have I ever complained here about French numbers?
No, you haven't.
Because French numbers are awful. Because here's the thing. Japanese numbers, you need to know, like, 1 to 10, right? Then you need to know, like, 100, 1,000, so on.
What always fucks me up is the order and the modifier.
I don't know, because here's the thing for me. Japanese numbers are easy, because if your number is, say, 21, it's like 2, 10, 1. Or even, like, if it's 100, or, 325 would be, 300, 2, 10, 5. Simple, it's, the order. French numbers, okay. French numbers, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you get to 11, which, I mean, kind of like in English, how 11 and 12 don't really follow any rules either. So you have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Which, by the way, 17 is literally just 10, 7. This doesn't follow any of the rules, because it's not even like English, where you get to 12 and then you get to 13, and then they follow that pattern until 20. It literally goes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so follows the rule up to there. Then at 17, then it's nope, 10, 7, 18, 19, so 10, 8, 10, 9, and then you 20, which is 20. And so then after they get 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, so on. You get 30, so that's normal. You get 40, so that follows that pattern up until you got 60. So 60 is 60. Then you got 61, 62, 63, the same rules as before. Then what do you think 70 would be?
I have no idea.
It's 60-10. It's literally 60. It's 60-10. Then you get to 60-11, 60-12, 60-13, 60-14. It's literally 79, 71, 72, 73, 74. And then you get to 80. Now 80 is not 8 ans. It's literally 80, which is literally 420. As in 4 times 20. I don't know why it's this way. And it's, so you get 81, 82, 83, up until you get to 90. And 90 follows the same rules as 70, where it's 90, it's literally 410, 420, 10. And you go on to 420, 11, 420, 12. And this doesn't normalize until you get to 100.
Fuck!
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
At least Japanese is consistent, okay? You need to know the numbers 1 to 10, and then you need to know 100, 1,000, 10,000, maybe a million, and so on. everything in between those, you can just, like, fill it in with the other numbers that you already know.
Yeah, I just can never remember the order. And the reason I was thinking about this is, like, is there some sort of, like, play on words with 016 or, like, 016?
I'd have to look it up because, like, I don't know every pronunciation of every number. Like, I just know the most common ones. So half the time that kind of relies on, like, an uncommon pronunciation of certain numbers. But
I'm glad I brought that up, though, because I know that, like, for Mathways, like, Discord cuts out my laughter sometimes. Did you hear my laughter there?
I did.
I fucking died. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, French numbers.
Like, solidly missed what you said after that.
Because, like, the thing with French numbers is, like, French is a language that literally has a committee of people that make the rules for the language. And their number system still works like that. Like, it's not even like a thing like, oh, we've always done it like that.
So
you have the power to change this.
With that committee, is that for all French or is that for French?
I'm not sure, actually.
Like,
I think
does
it might
Quebec
be
French care about that?
I think you'd probably have to ask someone who actually lives in Quebec. But I think the thing with it is that a lot of published material is published in France and then distributed in other French-speaking places. So even for places that are not France, France still kind of has an influence.
Yeah, but I think it is like there's the difference is that like there's being an influence and there being like basically the rule of law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Because I know there are differences in France French and Quebec French, but I feel like most of the ones I'm aware of are more like accent and slang related than like actual grammar points.
Whereas like Japanese, like different Japanese dialects get weird. Like there was like a character in a book I was reading where it's like they use a dialect where, like, I had to look it up on Wikipedia, and the Wikipedia article was, like, 5 sentences long. And it's like, oh. There's a lot. Because Japanese also kind of has, like, a central authority. Which is why there's a lot less Japanese dialects now than there were, like, 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like the fact that you have, like, television broadcasting and stuff means that, it's people are more likely to hear other dialects than... Whereas, like, in the olden days, you just, like, copy the way everyone around you spoke. Yeah,
like, what happens is that whatever is spoken in Tokyo will get spoken everywhere, because that's where basically all the television, all the movies, all the music is.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like that in the US, too, where you have, like, that dialect that newscasters use because it, like, specifically sounds like it comes from nowhere.
Anyway, seeing Kay bleeding is kind of weird. Like, I know that he's not,
like a robot?
But it's still, yeah, it's still weird.
I mean, I guess this is kind of confirmation for anybody who would have thought he was mechanical, that no, he is very much... There is a real person in there.
I always believed that there was a real person in there. Like, but it's just kind of like seeing the proof of it. So wait, okay, so like, what the fuck?
What?
Hey, Sigma, why are you... What?
Sigma, what?
What are
you on about?
My dude, what?
Nani?
Wait. All of the creatures that walk the face of the earth are descended from species B.
Okay.
What? What the fuck?
This feels like a very roundabout explanation for an action that you cannot explain, nor should you try.
You could do this as, like, I had no reaction other than to laugh. Nothing else felt right. You don't need, like, everything is descended from one species.
It's okay to just admit you don't know why you did something. Is this Galaxy Brain?
Like, this is a very Ichikoshi moment.
Verified zero escape moment.
That's so. We're the only two left. That's interesting.
Yeah, this might be like annihilation ending. Like, you know, every game needs to have like an everyone dies ending.
Uh-huh. And, like, wow, it's just hanging on that line. I don't think Quark is still alive.
Probably not. I mean, we already found his bracelet, right?
Did we? That was multiple weeks ago. So.
ありえない。もう一度二人の死体をよく見るんだ。K の背中には斧が食い込み、ディオの腹部には槍が突き刺さっている。あの非力な子供にこんな真似ができると思うか?
I don't know.
I feel like Quark needs to exist as like the designated character who's clearly innocent, but we're gonna like discuss him as an option anyway, just for the sake of it.
私が一体いつこの二人を殺せたと言うんだ?
They're like, he was there, so technically he's a suspect. Realistically, maybe not.
You never know. That kid could be strong.
I don't know, I feel like Ace Attorney has a lot of moments like that too, where it's like, you could just solve the crime by just like, being like, hey, look at this suspect. Just look at him a little more carefully.
Uh-huh.
Just consider for a moment.
Once again, just hanging on things for long amounts of time. But, God, so what's gonna happen? Are we? We're still here!
Who's even left to vote?
Yeah! And it's like, we're the only two left, so that means that, like, we're not going to, are we gonna be doing more escape rooms? Like... And it doesn't feel like we've learned anything.
I mean, no, we did. We just talked about anime the entire time through it.
Well, no, there was the stuff about, like, who killed, the people who are dead already.
Mm-hmm. No, we're gonna find that.
But we didn't, like, we didn't get an actual answer yet, is the thing I'm saying. We haven't learned anything yet.
Well, I think it's also because they have to go around and establish who actually is dead, just so people won't, like, be like, oh yeah, suspects.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Yeah, it's... God, how long is... Like, how many words are in this game?
A lot.
It definitely feels long. Maybe that's just because we have now spent like 3.5 hours between these three.
Yeah.
When
a lot of people dying. It's almost everybody, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Usually all these... Rest in peace, Dio, the main good guy. Oh no, they killed the protagonist. The real protagonist.
Myrmidons. That's come up before. Because I talked about Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I don't remember the context it came up before, though.
聞いたこと
The
ない
occult.
名前だ
Oh, okay.
それよりも絵の部分を見てくれ
Yeah, this is also very much one of those games where like you need information from other endings to get other endings. Like,
Uh-huh. I mean, that was like a plot point in the original.
刃渡りはざっと見たところ15センチってところかな付け根の部分の峰から刃までの長さは3センチ程度峰の厚さは3ミリぐらいだろう
hmm.
総動長150ミリ総高長30ミリ動画は総端幅3ミリのことか
Interesting. So...
Interesting.
Did Dio kill that woman?
Probably. She has a name. Oh, we mean the other lady.
Yeah,
I mean, she has a name, but we don't know it yet.
Yeah, the woman who we don't have a name for.
I was gonna say, because I thought you were talking about Alice, and I'm like,
No.
she has a name.
No. 'Cause like they like did do a flashback of the other woman, or like they did go back there for a bit, which felt like, hey, remember that she's that she's a thing.
Yeah, she exists.
まあ正確に計測したわけではないから断言はできないけどね
Are there timelines where she doesn't die?
アリスの胸から抜き取ったからだろう
Technically, no, actually. Sort of.
Huh. Interesting.
It's complicated.
Interesting.
もしもそうだとすると例のやましいことともつながるな
I think it's not a matter of like, are there timelines where she dies, where it's so much as like, are there timelines where we get to talk to her before she dies?
Okay. Which, I mean, that kind of still, like, is a yes to what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
そうだな
Also, so, I don't think we're gonna finish this ending today.
You know, me neither. What a coincidence.
Like, maybe once we're done with this, we're just gonna be able to be like, the rest of the route is done in like 5 minutes. But we still have another 10 hours in this
この
one
件につい
spot.
て考察するのもとに
Yeah.
その前にもう一つの物体についても検証しておきたい
And you know, the other, like, what, 7 endings or something we have to hit?
使ったものが2つあるんだ一つはさっきのナイフでもう一つは
Oh?
これだ
Huh?
Whoa.
Oh, I was just
I forget
yawning.
what that is.
あの時の
What? What was that?
No, I forgot what this item was.
Ah, okay.
She's like, we found this, and I'm like, cool. What is it? Mhm.
じゃあこれは本来アリスが所持しているはずのものだったのか
That one is like
それ
an
を
hour-long exposition dump. Doesn't give us much to play
す
off
ると
of.
ディオはナ
Yeah.
イフを抜き取った時に
So sure, it's like
合わせても
it's an exposition dump that manages to say nothing.
Yeah. Key to my car. I don't know, it kind of does look like one of those, you know those car keys where you just have to have it, like, in proximity to the car and then press a button?
Yeah, my dad had that. That like,
Oh, yeah, same. I mean, I don't, like, as in, my dad also has that.
where it's like you don't even need to put it in the car.
Mm-hmm.
It which is like cool technology.
これ
Yeah.
I'm never going to drive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm both gay and have trauma around cars.
I don't know.
So-
I could technically, like, get my license if I want to. I just don't feel like it. I don't know. I don't think I'd be a very good driver either.
Oh,
Which I
get
feel-
off driver.
Yeah,
You
I don't
need
know. I
feet
think
to drive. Well, I can have feet, but I generally don't. So are we going to see underneath the mask?
Oh, maybe. Or maybe not.
もしかしたらボディースーツのロックを解除するには電力が必要なのかもしれん。だが背中に食い込んだ斧の
Really? Really? Lame.
だと思う。
Either that or like he needs to be alive in order for it to be openable.
Lame.
Large bruh moment.
We were so close to having something come about from this.
Yeah, the game is like, let's talk about logistics.
Let's talk about how everyone is descended from the same species.
I don't know, I find this does happen with this game a lot, where it's like, let's talk about logistics. They're like, okay, so this person was here at this time, and then they moved to this other room.
There's a much bigger, like, area of play.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes harder to keep track of everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think also, too, the fact that, like, this building is not sinking. It is not flooding.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're slowly and slowly, like, dealing with less and less space.
Mm-hmm.
見てくれ。ルミノール試薬が入ったスプレーだ。そうだ。
God, my hands are getting sore from shuffling too much. I also just cracked my knuckles, and there was a lot to crack there. So I'm just gonna put the cards away for now and hope that I didn't actually just fuck up my hands.
Did an egg stretch. I don't seem to ascend as much anymore.
Oh?
Maybe the VTube Studio fixed itself. Because there was a problem for a while where, if I had my face, I think in a certain spot, or like if it went off camera or something, then the model would just like shoot straight up in the air. And people were like, Eggy ascends! But, I don't know. Because I think what happened is that I used to have an issue where if I went off camera, then I would get really, really tiny. And I figured out how to, like, fix that problem by turning off some parameter thing. But then I think it just transferred the problem to a different parameter. Because, yeah, then I would just ascend. So, like, if I turn that one off, too, am I just gonna, like, shoot to the left? Like, or did VTube Studio just, like, get an update and fix itself?
That might be it.
Because, yeah, I don't...
I still need something to be doing with my hand, though. I have some dice on my desk. I'm gonna fidget with those.
I go from ascend to zoom. Yeah. Zoom. New. Because, yeah, I remember, like... Yeah, see, normally I think before I would have ascended just now, but I did not ascend. Now I only ascend intentionally.
My computer just started making more noise. Oh no.
Oh no. Is it like hot out?
No. And like, I had my room very cold before the stream started too, because that's what I just prefer to do with streams.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes my computer just does make a noise. Like, I'll just be sitting there, I'm not even using it. I'll just be sitting there, and it's like... noise. And I don't think it's bad noise. Like, it doesn't sound like bad noise, but it's just like the fan just like... all of a sudden. Even though I'm not doing anything.
I put the, like, cursor on the bottom of the screen, and what that does, like, in my, like, in my actual, like, stream presentation, is that it puts it below the game.
Like, behind it?
No, below it. Like, there's the point where the game ends and the rest of my UI, like, my layout is, and it is on the rest of the layout. Because, like, I have the, like, blue stuff in the back, the ocean. And it's on the ocean, not the game.
Interesting.
Which is weird. I'm just trying to find a place to put the mouse that's not, like, distracting. I'm just gonna put it behind you. Because your head is covering part of the screen. Wait.
No, he's bringing it back.
What the fuck?
And even he has the good sense to be embarrassed about it now.
Ah! We're still here.
But yeah, I do have a big head.
Yeah.
I think I'd like my next model to have a smaller head. Because doing layouts is like surprisingly difficult with these proportions.
I find the big head cute, but like I get it.
Well, because like most of the time, like when I look at how other people do their layouts, I literally cannot do that because my head would be covering everything. Or like if there's anybody else on the screen, I don't know how to proportion it because everyone else has like normal bodies and then I'm just like big egg. Big head.
Yeah, thankfully you just like fit right next to me. Have you seen my stream layout during these streams? And like how you fit in?
I think I need to see it because I make you smaller next to me. Like
that's what I do.
Yeah. You are like teddy bear size.
You're just like a head shorter than me. Which is to say, you come up to about... Your hat comes up to about my eyes. Also, so Cork is alive? Huh. Interesting. Let me check something. When I can. Copious amounts of map loading screen.
See, we can't just tell them where he's going. We gotta show every single door he walks through.
If this game didn't have those moments, it would be 10 hours shorter.
I mean, I know you're joking, but I'd actually like to see somebody like just mod those out of the game and see how long it is.
We're still here. God, I've started yawning a bunch.
No slipping.
I'm trying not to. Trying not to. Is it impossible?
Is it?
Is it impossible that this kid just knows how to use weapons? Consider everything else that's going on.
Yeah. Also, have you seen his hat? Like...
Yeah. He is not innocent in this. For some reason, Memento Mori, if the ninth lion ate the sun, is just an incredibly cool set of words to me. Like, incredibly cool. Very cool.
It seems like a thing you would write somewhere, and then people would look at it and be like, cool, zero escape reference, bro, because there's absolutely nothing else you could be referencing with that set of words.
I mean, Memento Mori can be a porous reference.
所長室だろう
I guess, or a reference to a lot of things. But like with the ninth lion part, then it becomes like its own thing.
Just go to a con cosplaying as the wall that has those words on it.
Noted. You know what I still need to do? Me and some friends, we joked about it a long time ago because I did like a Zombieland Saga cosplay group with some friends. And one guy had jokingly said that he would be the truck. He would be Truck-kun. And we never actually... He didn't follow up on it, unfortunately. The rest of the group did, but Truck-kun did not deliver. So since then, I'm like, I've kind of want to like make myself like a cardboard truck costume. Just write like Isekai Express or something on the front and go to a con like that. I feel like I get so many pictures, like every like Isekai protagonist.
That's how you become the most popular cosplayer at the con.
Nobody steal that idea. I'm doing that like the moment I can get back to a convention. Because I know I've definitely seen people cosplay like Initial D cars at conventions, just out of making them out of cardboard. But yeah.
So, escape room. We're still here! What the fuck? This is...
The Lord is testing us.
So is this a room that has already been cleared, or is this going to be our next escape room? So that's the ninth lion.
I think we might be hitting a dead end.
I would be fine with that. I haven't been taking screen caps this stream.
Oops. I mean, not that there was much to cap.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, there hasn't been much. Like, I always try to take screen caps of like cool new sprites or like interesting CGs or stuff in escape rooms. What have we had but exposition dumps? Like, so many exposition dumps.
Ooh.
Yeah, Memento Mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. That's like... They just reminded the player of this. So, like...
As if they haven't been repeating it for about 5 minutes now.
Yeah, it's like... We don't need to have this, like, oh, it's Memento Mori! Like, if the ninth lion ate the sun, because... Like, the reason you have these callbacks is so you don't need to be, like...
Okay, I feel like the thing with these games, too, because Ace Attorney does this a lot as well, where there's, like, flashbacks, it's because they assume that people are playing this in even shorter bursts than we are right now. So, like, they need to write the games with the assumption that someone's going to play this, and then put it down for about 3 weeks, and then pick it back up.
How do people... What?
Because Ace Attorney has that, too, where there's, like, random flashbacks. Huh?
What?
Is that not how you play video games?
No, what? 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 No, like, what are we doing here?
Oh, we're logging in.
Yeah. What?
Just give it a try. I don't think you're supposed to be able to succeed.
Well, I gave it a try.
We ganbatte, we did our ganbarimasen.
I do like that, like... As far as our playthrough is concerned, Sigma, typed in the letter G a bunch, deleted it, and then typed in lol and lamau. And then was just like, fuck, I'm out of ideas.
Username LOL, password LMFAO.
Anyway, we just hit an ending.
Woo, finally.
Yeah. And we're gonna...
After 9 bajillion hours.
We're gonna come back here at some point.
Mm-hmm. But it's not gonna be that soon. It'll be soon, but, like, not that soon.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be taking a couple weeks break, starting next Monday.
Yeah, so I'll have to fill this void with something else.
Yeah, and I'm going to be unconscious for 2 weeks straight, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to be the first, like, week-long stretch since I started streaming in January that I have not streamed in a week.
Omori time? No, not Omori time. It's not gonna be Omori time until I finish Mother 3. That one's next. Because I don't want to have, like, a bajillion RPGs going, so...
Understandable.
Yeah, so Omori time will come after Mother 3 time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's, like, another, like, puzzle-based game that I can pick up and do myself. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I already have Baba, but, like, that's different than this. I'll figure something out.
Yeah. Well, until next time, thanks for everyone who was watching this.
Yeah.
Goodbye and stuff, I guess.